5 reasons why Canada is better than the UK. Really interested to see what we got with this, see what kind of things Canada is better at than the UK. Before we do, appreciate if you guys could hit that subscribe button. And yeah, let's see what we got.
In January of 2022, I made the big leap of moving from London, England to Saskatchewan in Canada.
Okay.
In this video, I'm going to talk about some of the things that I think Canada does better than the UK.
Right.
So grab a Tim's or any coffee or tea if you're in the UK for that matter, and join me.
What do you mean tea in the UK? What do you mean? Hey, I've had my coffee, buddy. I'm a coffee drink. Wait, Canada, I'm guessing you guys are big on coffee, right? You guys aren't like, I don't know, how many of you guys drink tea? How many of you guys drink coffee?
On this journey. This leads me on to number one, which
Number
is
one.
the pace of life in
Okay.
Canada. Canada, or at least in my opinion, has such a more chilled out way of
Right.
life.
Listen, I know a couple Canadians and yeah, they seem like the most chilled out people on the planet. Like, it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing how chilled out they seem. Like a mate of mine, he's from Canada, he's from Toronto, and he's so cool. Like he just will be playing games and you sometimes like your body and demeanor would just all be relaxed. Wait, that's a big word. I used that word before, demeanor. Hey, I don't even know what that means. I think that's right in the right context, right? But like what I'm trying to say is that I played a game with him and I will feel way more relaxed playing that game because he's there just chilled out. He's got his chill voice. He's got, you know what I mean? So like, yeah, it's cool.
Of course, this may be different depending on where you are in Canada and
Right.
where you are in the country. But in my case, for example, I find I spend most of my summers at the lake just relaxing and chilling out.
Oh,
For me,
beautiful.
it's such a different perspective on life that
See, I would love something like this, just chilling by a really nice lake. Like, yeah, we got lakes in the UK, but the water's brown. You don't go in it. It's disgusting, right? It's not like, it's just not nice, bro.
you always have that hustle and bustle when you should be busy, but actually taking that time to really slow down is
Right.
something which I find I do much more in Canada than what I just ever would have done in the UK.
Interesting.
Okay, so that leads me on to number
two.
two, which is the food.
okay.
Now, don't get me wrong.
Right.
I love a good chicken tikka masala and fish and chips in the UK.
Yeah,
However,
whoa, our fish and chips don't come this good. But I know what you're saying. Like in the UK, we love our beans on toast. We love our full English breakfast, our Sunday dinner, our Greggs, right? Our fish and chips. I love a good fish and chips, right? If they do it right, but that's the problem in the UK. You don't know what you're going to get. I order from a chippy, and honestly, sometimes that fish and chips is amazing. Sometimes it's like you don't even want it's unedible.
one thing I will say is just, in my opinion, Canadian food is just that little bit better.
Right.
Canadian food just seems to be that little bit more flavorful compared to British food. And this is something I never would have said before I actually moved to Canada.
Okay, well, yeah, I think the whole entire world sees the UK as a non-flavored country. And yeah, like it's crazy. Like when I go to like Greece and Spain on holiday and whatnot, like the food is so much better. So I kind of get it.
Foods in Canada include things like poutines, you've got the Neighbours bars, and of course you've got the classic maple syrup.
Oh,
But
so
there are
good.
so many
Maple syrup
other
is so
things
good.
too. And wherever you go, I've just found the food is pretty good. Even in
Right.
small town Saskatchewan, if I go to a restaurant, I'm actually pretty impressed by the food.
Okay,
In Saskatchewan,
cool.
where I'm living, one of the really cool things, which we don't see much of in the UK,
What is he saying? In Saskatchewan? I don't know where that is in Canada.
is pierogies, which I know is actually from Eastern Europe and places like
They
Poland.
look like
and Ukraine.
raviolis.
However, since I've moved here, I've had so more pierogies, and in my
Pierogies?
view, they're just one of the best foods that I just wish we saw more of in the
Okay,
UK.
pierogies,
I
not
guess
heard of
one
them.
thing I should probably add though is that Canadian food is typically more unhealthy than what it is in the UK. At least in my experience.
Oh, really?
Not saying that's true everywhere. Okay, so that
Interesting. So Canada is living a more unhealthy lifestyle. Okay, interesting. That's kind of up my street. Unhealthy how?
That leads me on to number 3, which is the coffee.
Okay.
And I think in the UK, we just happen to be tea drinkers. And that means a lot of our coffee consumption comes from instant coffee, which, don't get me wrong, it's okay.
Right.
But compared to the coffee here, it just isn't great. Of course.
Okay, you know what? He does have a point. He's got a valid point. So I am a coffee drinker, right? And whenever I tell people in my stream, if you guys aren't in the streams, you're missing out. Twitch.tv/Alfred But I told people in my stream who there's Americans in there, there's Canadians in there, there's Australians in there. And I was like, okay, yeah, I drink coffee. They was like, how do you make your coffee? And I say, instant coffee, the granules, then like the sugar, then the boiling water, and the milk. They was like, huh? But like, the thing is, like, we're not really a coffee culture here, right? A lot of us do drink coffee and a lot of us do enjoy coffee. More people enjoy tea, but like, we don't really have much options when it comes to coffee. I'm not gonna lie.
Instant coffee, which, don't get me wrong, it's okay, but compared to the coffee here, it just isn't great. Of course, in Canada, everybody.
Just so you know, I don't drink instant. Well, actually, I'm like half and half. When I can't be bothered, I just quickly make an instant. But I do have a coffee machine now. I do. The people in my stream forced me to get one.
Loves Tim Hortons, which is a huge Canadian institution.
I think we got a couple of Tim Hortons in the UK.
It's so much better than what it is in the UK.
Right.
And while I'm talking about some of the national chains, you also have places like Second Cup, which, believe it or not, there is one in Birmingham in the UK. But you also have so many good local specialty coffee shops. And
wait, did he say Second Cup? Oh, I'm gonna have to keep a lookout for it. We're in Birmingham.
I know you do in the UK too, but they're just so expensive. And even in Canada, they are.
Wait, how much is a coffee in Canada? So let me try and convert it. But in the UK, a cup of coffee is around £4 or £5. So let's go in the middle. Let's say £4.50, right? So £4.50 in CAD. So if you go to a cafe or something and you just get a coffee to go, it's around 8.3 CAD. So around 8 CAD. I don't know if that's pricey, if that's cheap. I don't know, let me know how much is Canada.
But if you just want a cup of coffee, then in my view, it's just much better in Canada.
Right, okay, cool.
If you ask about tea, I will give you a very different answer. It seems wherever you are in Canada, the nature is just beautiful. And
gorgeous,
in
man.
Ontario, PI.
Look at that. Look at, oh my God. Bro, this is what I'm talking about. Like, how do you wake up? This is the problem in the UK. We wake up, and a lot of people in the UK just wake up and we're already miserable. We're already grumpy. We look outside, it's the weather. It's the scenery, right? Look at this, mate. You just feel so much better about yourself.
Newfoundland, Saskatchewan, BC. There are just some incredible things about nature in Canada. For example, where I live, I only have to drive 30 minutes to go to a lake, which is just incredible and something I truly love. And for me personally, just being in nature is something which really helps ground me, and I find it just puts me in such a good place. And
good mood.
Don't get me wrong, the UK does have nature, but
Right, okay. So, you can find really nice spots in the UK. You can find some nice spots in Scotland. We got the Lake District, the Peak District. They're really nice spots. But there's not much. Like, you know, like, and the scale of how nice it is nothing compared to the rest of the world. Like, it's really not.
I find we just don't appreciate it as much in the same way that Canadians do. So, and that
it's not as good.
To number 5, which is the friendliness. And let me tell you, Canadians are some of the most kindest, most caring people I've ever met.
That's cool.
Now, that isn't to say people in the UK aren't nice at all. I know if you're in the north of England, people are typically much nicer than what they are in the south east in London, which is where I was from.
Oh, so I've lived in the south of the UK. And let me tell you right now, it was the worst living I've ever so I've lived in the Middle East. I've lived in Nottingham, I've lived in Derby, I've lived in Birmingham. Well, I live in Birmingham. So I originally lived in Nottingham, born in Nottingham. Then I lived in Derby, which is next to Nottingham. You guys probably have no clue of these places, but if you do, it's whatever. Then I moved to near London, and now I'm in Birmingham, right? Near London, the worst. It was terrible. It was terrible.
However, I know when I first moved here, I was so surprised that people were talking to me and genuinely asking me questions, which is just so different.
That'll happen in the UK. If somebody randomly comes up to you in the UK, you're probably getting robbed or stabbed. Like something's going down. Run. Just run. Probably not if you're Canadian, because I assume like if they hear your Canadian accent, they'll probably come up and be friendly because, you know, it's something different. But UK to UK, yeah, no, but we're just not like that with random people.
To what it was like in the UK when it comes to talking to strangers and people you don't know. One thing I really appreciated for me is one of my first times driving, I got stuck in the snow. And within 5 minutes, somebody came to help me, and they actually helped me get out of that situation.
Really?
Getting their tractor and pulling me out of the ditch.
And I was so
appreciative of that, because being so new to the country, I was not expecting that. I had no real idea what to do in that situation.
Yeah, bro, if you break down in the UK, you like... it's like a 1 in a million chance that someone's going to stop for you in the UK. Yeah, that's unheard of here.
So knowing that people genuinely care and that people are going to help makes a huge difference.
Right.
Another example is knowing your neighbours. When I lived in London, I had no idea who my neighbours were.
Okay.
Since I moved to Canada, actually, I know my neighbours quite well. And I
got a funny story about this. So like, I moved into this. To be fair, all the houses I moved in, like before this house here, I didn't know my neighbours. So, well, the house I grew up in from a kid, I knew my neighbors, obviously, because you was there for so long. I was there for like 20 years, right? But when I moved to the other houses, especially down south, no clue. No clue who my neighbors were, right? But in this house, I actually met the neighbors, and they are really cool. I met them like 4 months after living in here. It's because they had my parcel, so I had to go around and meet them. But in the UK, that's not like a weird thing to not know your neighbors. Whereas I assume in Canada, like it probably is, right? In the UK, it's like, if you meet them, you meet them. If you don't, you don't. Like, it don't really matter. Like, nobody really bats an eyelid. It's not like one of those things where you have to go meet them.
I think that's just...
It is nice knowing them, though. Like, now that I've actually met our neighbors here, when I see them, we just say hello and that, and they're really cool. So like, we should make it a thing. Like, you should always get to know your neighbors, man. Unless they're crazy, then yeah, then.
Friendly atmosphere among Canadians, or at least where I am in Saskatchewan. That might be somewhat different in bigger cities like Toronto and Vancouver. And if it is, let me know in the comments down below.
Interesting.
So there we have it. There were 5 things.
Very interesting video. Learned a lot in that. Learning a lot about Canada as well. If you guys got any videos you want me to check out, literally anything. If you want me to check out a place in Canada, any things in Canada, more culture shots, let me know in the comments and I will get to them. Good video. If you guys did enjoy this, make sure you leave a thumbs up, subscribe for more content. It really does help out with the channel. I appreciate the support on this channel. You guys are absolutely amazing. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.